Hello everyone, welcome to the daily analysis for Euro US dollar for April 17th, 2009. The time is currently 14 GMT. The new daily candle has just begun, so I'm doing the daily analysis for Euro right now. Looking at a weekly chart to start off, just to get an idea of what's happening with the market. You can see that obviously we've had an extended fall from the 160, and we've kind of been creating this huge range. This range does actually have some order to it. It's not just chaos. If you We'll look at it closer, but just to get an idea from the weekly chart of where the range is, we have these two major support levels, support and resistance levels. So we're kind of consolidating here and pending a breakout in a direction, either the bottom or the top. Um, so zooming into the daily chart, we can get a little bit better idea of what's going on. You can see that on the daily chart we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches on this trend line. So this trend line is significant and it has had an effect on the market. When you zoom a little bit closer, there is another level that is extremely important on the euro pair, and that's the 1.31 level, right about there, a little lower. The first time we broke it was all the way back in mid-October, and when we first broke it, you didn't know it was significant. We came up here. It still wasn't significant at this point because we had just had this enormous multi-hundred pip wick that just closed below, and when it came up again, this was the first time where we started to see it. It bounced off of 1.3116, and then a few weeks later, it bounced off of 1.3080, and when we broke this level right here, you can see the market rallied all the way up to 1.47. It was quite a bullish week, to say the least. However, on the way down, we did bounce off of it once at exactly 1.3092, and then we extended a little bit below it, bounced off again, and when we broke it, a couple days later, we had 2 tests of it on 2 separate days. We broke back above it, 2 more days where we tested it right here and here. We broke back below it. We had 2 tests here, and then the market stayed below it for about another month and a half until a few weeks ago, about a month ago, when we broke above it again, and we got up to 1.37 area, and we came down and we bounced right off of it again, and just last week we bounced off of it once again. And then you can see that right now the market is currently trading about 80 pips above it at 1.3185. So keep in mind the 1.31 level. That is the major level that I'm looking at to enter a short position or a sell on the euro. Anything above 1.31, I'm bullish on the euro. So looking at the CCI on the daily chart, you can see that our trend line right here, it has 3 touches and we're about to touch it the 4th time, and it's possibly a bullish bounce. If it breaks it, obviously we would probably be breaking the 1.31 level as well. From the top side, a little bit closer. Again, we're still waiting to see which way it breaks. So those are the trend lines on the daily chart. Moving in onto the 4-hour, this is what we have. We'll zoom out just a little bit. What's important to note here, at least that I'm keeping an eye on, is in addition to the weekly consolidation that we've been having, which is an enormous range, we also have this consolidating from the 1.31 to the 1.37 level right here. This kind of range, it's slowly been descending with this green trend line on the top, but it's been rangy nonetheless. And what's important here is that the initial trend, starting down here at the 1.25 levels, the initial trend was bullish. So in all likelihood, the anticipated direction of this range break is going to be to the top side, or a break of this green trend line. So it's going to be a little bit interesting to see which way it actually does break. Okay, so looking at the 4-hour chart, uh, looking at just the last day and a half, 2 days, you can see that we came up to the 1.31 level, pretty close to it, but we bounced off of 1.3146, and then today we had two separate bounces at 1.3128 and 26. So they're fairly close to the 1.31 level, and we did bounce away. We're over 80 pips both times, but the market has yet to kind of make a reversal trade. Um, there is another trend line on a smaller time frame where we have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on it, and so we have a range within a range, kind of within a range, if that makes sense. Um, you can see once again we're consolidating and we're pending a breakout, and it's usually up against this 1.31 level. Currently, Euro's range is about 100 pips, so to get a better idea of this range, we got to zoom in even farther and see what's going on. Um, so again, here we have the top here. I mean, here's your 1. There's actually a couple tests up here, so you had 3 tests here, 1, 2, and 3. So, and it looks like right now where we might actually be bouncing off of this trend line again, so it'll be a little bit interesting. So for the euro pair, I guess, a break of 1.3230 would put us outside this trend line and would create a new high. So a break of 1.3230, I would say, would be a good opportunity to go long. And on a 4-hour scale, it would be here. You might want to look at taking profit. If it's a short trade, maybe around 1.3280. If this trend line right here has any significance. If it doesn't, look at the horizontal levels, and your next stop would be the 1.3380. And if we broke that, we would probably have a retest of the green trend line up here near 1.35, 1.3475. And most likely we would have a bounce off of here, so I would keep sells below 1.3475 to get a quick bounce, maybe 50 to 100 pips. But going back to the hour chart, zooming in, we could have a bounce off of here, and right now would be a great time to enter a sell position because it is a bearish trend. We do have these lower highs and lower lows. They are a little bit consistent, and right here, because we're just below the trend line, it would be a great opportunity to enter a sell position and, look for a quick, 20, 50, or maybe 80 pips. 80 pips is a little close to the line. You want to make sure your take profit gets hit. And if we do get down to the 1.31 level, be a little careful about it, but I would, above the 1.31 level would be a great place to enter a buy position. And obviously, if it does break it, you would let go of the buy and enter a sell on a break. So that's pretty much the euro right now, where we're pretty much pending a range on multiple time frames, a range break, and to consider a new trend. Because of the daily charts initial bullish trend, I am bullish biased with this range right here, and if we break the 4-hour / 1-hour range, I think we could have a retest of the upper trend line here near the 1.3475 level, but we might stop at the 1.3380 near this daily high. So keep an eye out for those. Buy low, sell high. Pay attention to the candlesticks that are forming and what kind of support and resistance is happening throughout the day. If you trade smaller time frames, look at ranges and patterns that happen on the smaller time frames. Like this is a 1-hour chart, and obviously we have a nice downward trend line. So when it approaches this trend line, that's a great place to enter a sell position. If it breaks it, obviously that's a good time to enter a buy position. So pay attention to these kind of things that form, and make sure you trade smart and safe. Have a great day.